Today, we out in Alaska. Some of you are privy or have become privy to Alaska and found out that they actually have a ghetto there. Every place has a ghetto. Don't be alarmed, as there is opportunity there for those who are seeking a new life. You also get almost $40,000 per person to stay over there. So if you are a family of 4, multiply that 40,000 and you get the point. That's just for jokes, but for those who think that it's just snow and chimneys out in Alaska, let us tell you a short story. An Anchorage man was sentenced to serve 12 years in prison for his role in a conspiracy to distribute heroin, cocaine, and crack in Anchorage, to launder thousands of dollars in drug proceeds, and for possession of a firearm in furtherance of the drug conspiracy. Isaiah Holloway was the last of 12 defendants to be sentenced in the case, which alleged that the defendants were involved in a Fairview gang tied to a set of the Blood Street Gang in California. Isaiah Holloway, aka Z, previously pled guilty to conspiring with others to distribute drugs and to launder the proceeds. As part of his guilty plea, Zay admitted that he sold drugs on multiple occasions with other co-conspirators and that he traveled with other members of the conspiracy who carried drug proceeds and firearms in order to protect themselves and those proceeds. Following his release from prison, Zay will be on supervised release for 5 years. As part of the sentence, Judge Burgess ordered forfeiture of Zay's interest in the $76,335 of drug proceeds seized during the investigation into the drug trafficking operation. According to charging and sentencing documents, the conspiracy began in 2013 and continued until December of 2015. During that time, Zay acquired drugs, including heroin, cocaine, and crack, and worked with 11 other conspirators to sell the drugs to others. The members of this conspiracy called themselves the Fairview Mob or 326 Mob and associated with members of the Campanile Park Pure Blood Street Gang in Compton, California. The investigation revealed that 326 was code for Compton to Fairview. Several of the defendants were seen on both social media and seized videos flaunting their gang ties to California, making gang signs, and repeating the phrase Fairview to Compton. They also posted music videos on YouTube promoting violence and a gang lifestyle. The Fairview Mob would obtain controlled substances in the Los Angeles area and distribute them in Alaska. The indictment further alleges several members of the Fairview Mob are affiliated with Old Time ENT, Zaya's First Class Entertainment, and/or Y&E. According to the indictment, the conspiracy's activities date back to at least 2012, when several conspirators were stopped by police and found to be in possession of firearms. The indictment claims that Zay established a Wells Fargo bank account in January 2013. Between August 9, 2013 and February 14, 2015, conspirators deposited approximately $130,000 of cash, primarily drug proceeds, into that account, prosecutors wrote. In one incident, alleged to have occurred on May 18, 2015, the indictment states that Zay and Lamont Moore possessed a firearm, which Moore used to shoot a rival gang member because the victim was in Blood's territory in the Fairview neighborhood of Anchorage. Let's look a little more into the situation. Around noon Monday, police got a call reporting a shooting in the parking lot at 801 Carlick Street, an apartment complex near the Fairview Community Recreation Center. There, police found a 32-year-old man with a gunshot wound to his left arm. Bullet holes marked the windshield of the man's car. There were shell casings and blood on the ground near the car. The Anchorage Fire Department took the man to the hospital with injuries that were not life-threatening. The complaint said video from the Fairview Community Recreation Center showed the man driving on Carlick Street, followed by a black Mazda. The next video segment showed the man attempting to back his car into a parking space outside the apartment complex. As he was backing up, the Mazda approached and a passenger got out and fired 2 shots before the video recording stopped, according to the complaint. The man told police he was visiting a friend at the apartment complex and did not notice the Mazda following him. He said he did not know who shot him, but gave police a description of the 2 suspects. He described one as a black man with a medium build, bald head, scraggly beard and gold teeth. He described the driver as a black man with short hair. Police had recently seen Zay driving a black Mazda. The complaint described Lamont Moore, 35, as a known associate of Zay, and said officers had recently seen the two together near where the shooting occurred. Moore is from Compton, California, and is affiliated with the Blood Gang. The man wounded described himself as a Crip from Compton, it said. The complaint said the man wounded was not sure why he was being shot at, but believed it was Bloods that did it. He described the Fairview area as being controlled by Bloods and not wanting Crips there. In photo lineups, the man identified Moore as the man who shot him and Zay as the driver of the Mazda. Police arrested the two men during a traffic stop late Tuesday near the intersection of 4th Avenue and A Street in downtown Anchorage. The men were charged with attempted murder. Later that night, police arrested Zay's brother, 22-year-old Ish. He was charged with tampering with physical evidence. According to a charging document, police continued to look for the car involved in the shooting after they arrested Moore and Zay. Police found the car on the 4200 block of Mountain View Drive. Detectives saw Ish go into the garage where the car was. Police had been told that Ish had received a message from someone at the jail shortly after his brother was remanded. A cab company arrived at the garage and popped the lock on the car. About 10 minutes later, Ish left in another vehicle. Police officers stopped the vehicle and found cleaning supplies including bleach, rags and what appeared to be recently used rubber gloves, according to charges. When arrested, Ish was out on bail from a separate shooting case. Let us move to another situation, but is related to the Fairview mob or the Bloods. Christopher Haynes, 26, of Anchorage, Alaska, previously pled guilty to jointly possessing several firearms at the scene of a home invasion shooting on January 27, 2015. Haynes, a felon, was prohibited from possessing firearms at the time of the incident. The Anchorage Police Department was called to the scene of a home invasion shooting on January 26, 2015, at an apartment in Anchorage. Christian was present at the address, along with his girlfriend, his brother Christian Haynes, his brother's fiancée, Crystal Hawk, and several children. Christian Haynes and Crystal Hawk died from gunshot wounds inflicted by the assailants, who fired into the apartment after forcing in the door, which had been barricaded. Christian, his girlfriend, and the children escaped injury. When officers searched the residence, they seized 5 firearms, including 3 9mm pistols and 2 assault rifles. One of the firearms was found in Christian's bedroom. The double murder was the last in a string of 3 shootings that began on January 24, 2015, with a home invasion of Christian Haynes' residence located on Ricaud Drive in Anchorage. During that shooting, assailants forced their way into the residence, fired numerous shots, and kicked a 6-year-old child in the face. Later that same evening, a drive-by shooting took place on San Roberto Avenue in Anchorage, in an apparent retaliation for the first shooting. In that shooting, a little girl in an adjacent apartment was grazed by a bullet. A vehicle matching the description of Christian Haynes' truck was seen leaving the area. Ballistic evidence recovered at that scene matched 2 of the firearms recovered from Christian's residence, where Christian Haynes went to stay after his house was attacked. Currently, Michael Reynolds is under indictment by the state of Alaska for the murders of Christian Haynes and Crystal Hawk. Reynolds is charged in a related case in federal court, which alleges that he was part of the Fairview mob, which means he was a part of Zay's crew. During Christopher Haynes' sentencing hearing, Judge Burgess noted that Christian had in some respects been punished already due to the death of his family members. However, he acknowledged the atypical nature of the case, given the deaths and string of shootings. Judge Burgess noted the consequences of this case are the very reasons that felons are prohibited from possessing firearms in the first place. Because when felons possess firearms, bad things can happen. Because of the seriousness of the offense, Judge Burgess imposed the 46-month sentence instead of the 2-year sentence requested by Christian. But listen guys, this about wraps it up. There are many other things that have happened, especially more recently with the young guys. As you can see, it's not all bears and snow. There is also a lot of talent out here on the music scene. Go see for yourself. Yeah, but as always, stay low and thanks for watching.